guys. Thank you for joining me again here on Rooted Futures. It's Kamara, and let's dive into your July reading. So I'm going to do the collective reading first for a few minutes, and I'll put the timestamps below if you just want to go directly to your pile. So if you want to go directly to your pile, let's take a look at the different images. So group number one, you have the moon. Group number two, the lovers. And group number three, the emperor. So this reading is going to be about what you need to know for the month of July. And again, we have group one. Make sure I put it up so you can see it. Group two, and group three. So take a moment to reflect on those. I'm going to head to the collective reading first, and the timestamps will be below. Thanks so much, honeys. So the collective reading. July is interesting. One, because it's my birthday month, so happy birthday to all the Cancers out there. And I think it goes, the end of July goes into Leo season, if I'm correct. But you know, this Cancer time, it's always an interesting time for all the signs, because people are like, oh, I feel so much during this time. And it's hard not to feel the power of Cancer when we're in our season. There's a way in which we can feel all of the emotions but still be able to navigate our everyday life. And other signs are like, how do you all do this on a constant basis? So just know that if you're feeling a little bit more emotional than usual, it's just the season that you're in. But let's go with the opening card. Oh, look at that. We have the Chariot. So the Chariot is the sign. Cancer rules the Chariot card in the tarot. And I think collectively what's coming up in terms of what Spirit is telling me here is that this is going to be a month where you start making not only decisions, but movement towards a goal. Some of you may actually, in a quite literal sense, be moving. Others of you might be making some kind of symbolic move, whether that's in your job, whether that's quite literally your home. Others of you, you're making a move towards a goal. Something that you've been sitting on for a while, maybe something that you've been thinking about for a while. This could really be movement towards anything. Maybe some of you are making a movement towards love. Some of you are making a movement towards becoming the leader that you want to be. Others of you are making movements to heal yourself. So you see that it could be very vast in terms of this action of the Chariot. What I want to say about the Chariot here too is that sometimes you'll have two distinct choices to choose from, and those choices need careful thought, because it will move your life in a different direction. Whatever direction you choose, there you can move yourself in a few different directions. It's during this time that you want to be very thoughtful about any decision that you make, because you may be on this path. Cancer, the number of the month is 7. You may be on this path for the next 7 months, for the next 7 years, for the next 7 weeks. So it's a decision that collectively we want to take care in making. Let's see what Spirit's opening message is here. Wow, creative spark. Creative spark too is going to speak to the opportunity to really align with all of the things that you wish to do in the month of July. And Spirit is directing you to go within, even though it might be a social month, even though it may be a month where you're taking a lot of action. Some of you might be really busy. Spirit is directing you to go within so that you can align with the energy, the creative energy that is within you and that's being provided by Spirit. And so this is a good time for artists of any kind, whether you sing, whether you dance, whether you write, whether you speak, like spoken word or poetry. I don't know if I mentioned dancing, but yeah, dancing, whatever you're doing, whether you're an artist, this might be a very strong time for you in July. And you're being called to, especially if you have some kind of block creatively, to go within, to align all of your chakras, to align your mind, body, and spirit so that you can get the downloads, the energy from around you in your environment. It's going to spark some inspiration for you. It's going to help you understand clearly what it is that you want to work on next. And so collective, that's very powerful. And this card is a number 6, so it may be within 6 days that you'll find clarity around something that's creative for yourself. Wow. Lastly, look at this. We can't even repeat it if we tried. We have the voice here, which is number 3, because it's 30, but it goes to 3. And the voice here is saying that you are here to be known, to speak, to be seen. And that's kind of interesting because I think at the end of this month, we're heading into Leo, and it feels like Leo energy, but a lot of that energy is going to be in the time of Cancer. But we're going to wrap up this month knowing that whatever it is that you receive from this creative spark collective, it needs to be put out there. It's not going to be something that you tuck away and work on your own, really quiet. No, this is something that you need to make public, something you need to perform, something you need to sing, something you need to dance, something you need to write, and you need to share it with others, share it with your community. It is going to bless you in so many numerous ways. So this is what I have for us collective. Let's choose just a few tarot cards to see what else. We have 10 of sticks here, 10 of wands. We have 8 of pentacles. And we have 7 of wands. There's something about being very careful here about the next steps you're going to take, all the action you're going to take. Make sure that it's action that aligns with how you feel, collective. That means not taking on things that are going to overwhelm you, and not taking on things that are going to keep you really focused on the material instead of the creative. I'm getting a sense here that some of you may not want to see through a creative idea because you're thinking, I don't have the money to do it right, or I don't have the funds to make it happen in the way I want it to happen. Spirit is saying to not get so caught up in lack. Some of you getting caught up in past wounds, past quote unquote failures that make you kind of more tentative when it comes to expressing yourself. Spirit is saying, have faith in yourself, bank on yourself, invest in yourself, invest in your ideas. There's gonna come a point for many of us in the collective where we see our dreams come true. Yeah, you know, at the bottom of the deck, think about the things that you want to have happen. Visualize them so that they can come into fruition. Again, the Chariot is here. Make your decisions in a very decisive motion, but know that you've got the support of all these wands. That's fire energy. That's passion. It's there for you to make a decision. You may end up in some kind of celebratory event where this is going to happen. I got a download last night where I saw someone being directed by spirit to show up at an event, and at that event you get a prime opportunity to show everyone at the event how talented you are, where your wisdom is. You'll be called on stage for some reason, whether somebody's a rapper out here, somebody else, it might be a spoken word artist or singer, like I'm seeing you getting called impromptu on stage. And there's a story that's so interesting that I heard, and I'm forgetting where I heard it from, but there was this old story of how Michael Jackson and Prince used to be competitors, when they were really young. This is even before Prince really made it big. And what I heard in that story was that Michael Jackson always made it a point to be prepared wherever he showed up. And there was some event where him and Prince were invited and they were asked to come on stage impromptu and perform something. And Michael Jackson was ready. He performed something, he danced something. But when Prince got up there, you could tell he was obviously unprepared to perform. He didn't know he was going to need to perform. And there was something that I think later he said, at that moment he realized that you always got to be prepared, always be ready to go on stage. And after that, he was. So there's something in that story, collective, about you being prepared. You may get called on stage, and this could be symbolic too. You may be called to present your ideas, and this will probably be something that you weren't told ahead of time. And Spirit is saying, take that chance. Go ahead and believe in yourself. And when you do that, something miraculous is going to happen from that opportunity. So collective, I'm going to go to the pick a card readings. The timestamps will be below, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for joining me on this channel. If you want to support the growth of this channel, please like the video and please comment below. That's the only way I can really grow this channel and get more views. And that's if you feel like supporting the channel. But thank you so much. Hello, group number 1. How are you? Welcome to your July reading. This is about what you need to know for the month of July. We're going to tap more into the mysticism, the mystery, what is coming up for you that you need to be aware of, you need to take advantage of. I'm going to describe this opening card for you, which is the Moon. And you might want to just take a look at it here and see if this fits your vibration right now. And if it doesn't, please take a look at another group. But the Moon, especially for the month of July, the Moon already speaks of Cancer energy. And you don't have to be a Cancer, but the Moon is talking about the ancient, the hidden, the unconscious, even the darkness. Some of you might have, who are drawn to this group, were really interested in doing some more shadow work. Maybe there's a particular kind of issue you want to heal, and you're looking at just what are some of the things that feel like you don't have a sense of like where to go next. There may be a sense inside of you that you feel something's on the horizon, but you're just not quite sure what direction to take yet. There's something that feels like it's being hidden from you, and Spirit is saying that in some ways, to try to know too much into the future, your ancestors may try to slow that down a bit. Maybe some of you have been getting a lot of like readings lately, or you've been looking at a lot of tarot readings on YouTube, and your ancestors are like, there's something about the future that they want you to be comfortable with the unknown. And the Moon is the unknown. Sometimes when you get this in relationship to another person, it's like something they're trying to keep from you, or something that's hidden about them. And so this situation for you in the month of July, group number 1, it's pointing to the divine feminine, but the darkness of the divine feminine. It's pointing to the hidden path. It's also pointing to the birth canal. What is the light at the end of the tunnel? The moon is the light at the end of the tunnel. And so there's a birthing process that you're in. I kind of got this download the other day where it was talking about being pregnant, but being pregnant with spirit, not necessarily being pregnant with a child. Maybe some of you are pregnant right now, but there's a spiritual pregnancy that many in this pile are in. You feel like you're getting ready to birth something creative. If you go back to the collective message, there was that creative spark, and there's something inside of you that is taking shape right now, group number one. You could probably feel it within your whole being. Maybe some of you have had even restless sleep lately, waking up too early or waking up in the middle of the night. There's ways in which spirit is trying to talk to you right now, and it's saying to be mindful of all the signs and the synchronicities that you are seeing right now, group number one. You are being informed on a cosmic but darker level, the dark meaning the hidden, the cosmos, space. So let's see what Spirit's opening message is for you. False God. And so when you get the false God here, and the number is 11, that's kind of interesting because I think of 11 as the energy of two, two beings, two people. What I want to say here is that there may have been, Spirit is saying one or two things. Some of you may be consumed by a relationship and you're not focusing on something that Spirit wants you to focus on. There may be something about a relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be something else. Maybe some kind of potential conflict that's come up recently. It could be a friendship, something that's happening in your relationship sector that's kind of pulling you away, even distracting you from some of the work that Spirit wants you to do. And this false God, it means that you're putting too much faith in something that's external of you. This is why Spirit is presenting you with the opportunity to go deeper, to go back into your shadow. And as you do that, you begin to heal. Some of you may be in a motion of codependency right now. There's a way in which you're wanting a relationship to go a particular way. You want someone to validate you or see you. And Spirit is saying during the month of July, it's going to be important for you to get back to yourself, validating yourself, being there for yourself, caring for yourself instead of externalizing your world, instead of trying to analyze what other people mean, where they're coming from. Do that for yourself. Become rooted in yourself. That is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Your next oracle card, circles. Circles speaks to the fact that clarity begins, it says, in the eye of a storm. And the number is 34 here, which comes to 7. What I want to say here, group number one, is that yes, it's kind of piggybacking off of the idea of there may be something happening within a social circle of yours that feels a little chaotic. Maybe you're in a disagreement with some people, or maybe there's something happening within the family unit. And instead of, you see how the one being is on a horse while the others are kind of connected on the ground? It's almost as if the figure on the horse is willing to liberate themselves. They're using the tool, the vehicle of the horse to set themselves free from a particular social situation. That is what I'm seeing. And so it's going to be important for you to come back to yourself. I think in this month of July, you're going to realize my energies are all over the place. My energies are outward focused, and you're going to feel in the month of July, group number one, that you need to bring things in for yourself. Focus on yourself. I'm hearing take care of yourself. What is the energy that you're going to be in for the month of July? We have the Advocate. We have the Guide. and we have the beggar. The advocate talks about what is inspiring you to go into action, group number 1. You need to reconnect with your inspiration in the month of July. There's something, again, that I'm feeling where you're throwing your energy out towards others, trying to figure others out instead of trying to figure out yourself. And Spirit is saying that the only way that you can really make progress and even maybe heal some of the suffering that you've been going through is actually to begin to tap into your guides. There's something about you needing to work closer with your spirit team. There's something about you needing to connect more with your ancestors. There's something in your environment that's drawing your attention away even from your usual practices. And Spirit is guiding you to come back to your true nature, to come back to the divine, spirit number 1. I mean, that's interesting. I called you spirit number 1, but group number 1, and you are spirit number 1. Come back to the divine. Come back to yourself. There's an invitation here. And the beggar is always interesting because it's pointing to your need to confront things at the survival level. This is interesting. So some of you in this group number 1, maybe a relationship, and this could be even in business or at work, it feels like it's threatening your livelihood. Maybe someone at work is putting you in a position where you fear you're going to lose your job, or something's happening at work where you're wondering if you're going to get laid off. And there's something about some financial insecurity here that may be the reason why you're kind of looking at what's happening around you instead of what's happening within you. And you know what I channeled here as a message was to trust yourself, that you're becoming the best version of yourself. It says, I trust myself as I become the best version of myself. Spirit is saying here, group number 1, that yes, there's a reality that might be happening around you, but you also have the power to put that reality and make it manifest a reality that works for you. So I'm going to say that again because Spirit's like, you kind of garbled that up. Spirit is saying that while there is an external reality happening around you, you also have the power to manifest a reality that works for you. Let's go to the tarot. This is very powerful July for you. There's a way in which I think around you, for some of you, especially if this is a workplace issue, you may have a lot of people fearful. They're in their corners talking about what's going to happen next at work, or can we keep our jobs? Or you may have people trying to, be in competition with you to keep a job. Like there may be all kinds of things coming up. And look at that 7 of coins. It's pointing to where are you planting the seeds right now, group number 1. You've got the Father of Cups or baskets, King of Cups. And the grandchildren, which is the Sun. So group number 1, plant, I'm hearing from Spirit, plant positive and powerful seeds. When you do that, because the King of Cups is your energy, making sure that you work with your emotions in a way where they're not overwhelming you. Understand when you're being activated. Don't make decisions from activation or worry or overwhelm. Make decisions when you're fully grounded, because that is going to lead you to the sun. It's going to illuminate a new path for you. So if you look at that collective message, in that collective message, Spirit was calling us to sit and align with ourselves, even if we're busy, even if we're taking trips or business meetings. Make sure that every day you spend some time alone and get centered, get grounded, because that is going to lead you to a new pathway towards success. Let's clarify. Clarifying the Seven of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. Clarifying the Father of Baskets. The Hanged One. And clarifying the Sun. Three of Sticks. This is speaking to, again, plant the seeds, be very intentional in July, group number 1. This is not a time for you to kind of hang out in ambiguity. Make sure that you are planting seeds for your next step. Don't sit there and be in conversations of worry with other people. Start to take control of your destiny. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. You start to take control of your next steps. This may mean that you're already putting your resume out there, even if no announcement has happened at work. I'm seeing that example as being real for somebody, that this is a workplace issue. So you're being guided and directed to start putting yourself out there. Start making plans for your best benefit, whether that's submitting resumes, whether that's coming up with a business plan to start your own business, whether that's implementing a side gig so that you could start to increase your savings. There's something there, group number 1, that you need to be doing, planting seeds, career-wise. Also, emotionally, it is a time for you to not react. It's a time for you to be very grounded, to be in your center, to be in your peace. And so the Hanged One is saying, hold on and wait for a different perspective. Don't react in a way that is going to put you in a position for that's kind of weak for something that you're not sure is really actually happening. Some of you are hearing workplace rumors that may not be completely true. And lastly, as the Sun comes out, you know, I get for some of you, you may jump on the fact like, oh, I'm just gonna quit. And Spirit is saying, hold on. Make sure that you wait for accurate information. Some of you are already looking at, oh, I need to leave, or oh, I'm going to be fired, oh, this and that. And Spirit is saying, come back to this place of just submit your resume. Just start putting things out there, but you don't have to rush or make what they're saying, impulsive moves. They're saying the impulsivity is going to get you in trouble. At the bottom of the deck, you have the 8 of Swords. It's time for you to release yourself from emotional prison. There's a way in which in July, you're going to need to set yourself free. Get grounded. And when you do that, you see this 8 of Cups here, you will be able to make a decision of whether or not you need to leave from a grounded perspective. And in doing that, you will see here that you come into Empress energy. You're able to create the reality, the future that you want in July, group number 1. So that is what I have for you, group number 1. It sounds as if you're going to need to make decisions, but from a slow, calm place. Even if change is happening, make sure that you're fully aligning with your truth and your pace and your life goals. So group number 1, if you like the way that I read, if this has spoke to you, please comment below or like this video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel. I really need your help in growing this channel, and I will continue to do the readings. So thanks so much for taking a moment. Take care. Hello, group number 2. How are you? So welcome to your reading for July. What is it that you need to know? You chose the Lovers. This might be about a relationship, group number 2. You know, the Lovers too can speak to a joining of some kind. And the energy in July for you, group number 2, is about harmony, about a perfect union, whether that's with another or harmony and a perfect union with yourself. When I think of the Lovers too, it could be Gemini energy. So some of you might be a Gemini, some of you might be meeting and connecting with a Gemini. This doesn't have to necessarily be romantic, but there's something about you connecting with a opposite, but an opposite that is in full union with you. So that can be within you, like some opposite energy, but it can also be a person that doesn't necessarily seem like someone you would normally move towards, group number 2. This might be someone who's vastly different from you in many respects. I like this card because in a way they seem so well suited for each other, but this may be someone different. The embodied kind of masculine energy here looks like really kind of different. You may meet someone who's more artsy. This person might dress in a particular style that you're just like, wow. And I mean, they're kind of built too. They look kind of like this being from some other planet, but at the same time they're very good looking, very mysterious, group number 2. And you know, if you're looking for a feminine kind of embodied person, you may meet someone who's also that same quality, very beautiful, but in a darker, mysterious way. Someone who their eyes might be even kind of set inwardly a little bit, like you can't always see the fullness of their eyes unless you're close to them. There's something, I'm getting a message about that, like the person can look like their eyes are kind of set back, a little darker perspective. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Someone also might wear some very interesting jewelry. Some, you know, like, what I want to say, crystals, things like that. Something very statement piece. So, you know, if you're going to meet someone, this is going to be a different person, group number 2. This is also could speak to an alchemical marriage, you know, within you. This is something of a sacred union. This may be someone that you really have a deep spiritual connection with. This may be someone that you grow spiritually with. So very interesting, group number 2. Let's find out about Spirit's opening message. Oh, look at this. Wow. Sacred union. Wow. So it's number 24. That comes to 6, right? So you may meet this person in 6 days. You may meet this person in 6 weeks or 6 months. And I'm feeling like that's as far to go. Spirit is saying, like, if this is your pile, this is someone that you're going to meet fairly soon. And there's something about this union, like I said, it's a spiritual union. This could be a soulmate. This could be also, I'm hearing, a sexual union, a sexual healing union. So take it as you will. Just because it's a sexual union doesn't mean that it's love, but it could be love, but there's something that draws you both together, almost like I'm getting kind of tantric. Like if you know about Tantra, it's more about maybe you all will, maybe this is a person that will have interest in that, maybe both of you will, and it will heal you on a kind of cellular sexual level, I'm hearing. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Radical self-acceptance. You know what comes to mind here, group number 2? Is that this is going to be a union where if you have had some doubts about yourself. Maybe you don't think, you have some doubts about your looks, the way that you present. You wonder if you're attractive to anyone. This person's going to come in. This union's going to prove to you and help you to radically accept who you are. I'm getting a sense that this person, they're attracted to you on a sensual, sexual, kind of like divine level that has very, I mean, they're going to be attracted to you, but I think that it's a union that you're going to meet someone who knows you're the right person for them. You're going to meet someone who's going to help you, who's going to love your scars. If you look at this picture, this person has gone through some kind of I think that's the word, mastectomy. You know, like this is someone who may have had to heal and has a scar. This could represent you in the union group number 2, or it could represent the person. Either way, there may be someone who had to recover from some illness. They may have had, they may have been born with a particular kind of scar, or some kind of, I don't know, it could be anything. I'm hearing a birthmark even. And someone has always thought that this was not beautiful. This was not handsome. This person has been very sensitive to their scars. And this union is going to come together and help you or this person realize their true inner beauty. Their true outer beauty has nothing to do with a so-called societal perfection, that they're actually perfect and whole as they are, as you are. Take it as where it resonates. This is going to be a healing union, group number 2. Let's see what energies you're going to embody this month in July. We have the Hermit, we have the Damsel, and we have the Bully. Interesting. If this is you, group number 2, that has kind of sensitivities about your body or something about you, I'm kind of even hearing that someone might be sensitive about some kind of mental illness they may suffer from. This relationship is going to bring you out of your box. It's going to bring you out of isolation. It's going to help you understand your inner life and your personal life can be satisfying, can be in union with someone. You can be seen as a whole person in your authentic self. This damsel here, it's kind of like you're going to understand what healthy relationships mean, because maybe some of you have always, whoever's doubtful about themselves, it's come through in other relationships where you may have attracted narcissistic people who really, you know, made you feel less than, or people who really didn't see all of who you are. Or maybe there was a way that you even played into relationships, or this person, take it where it resonates, where you felt like you had to take anything that was being offered, and maybe you understood that that was not healthy for you and you went into a hermit mode. But now this relationship, it's speaking to a place in your own healing. Some of you have gone through this self-acceptance already. Some of you have already learned how to accept yourself as you are, and you're ready for a healthy relationship, or this will be what you're learning in this relationship. There's something about you too, especially when it comes to this radical self-acceptance, that can really intimidate other people. Once you radically accept yourself, people are going to be like, wow, I really feel your power. And I think it's like when you allow your full power to be seen and felt group number 2, or this person, again, take it where it resonates, they're going to change the dynamic of many of the relationships that they've had in the past. They're going to come into relationships with a sense of power, or you're going to come in relationships with a sense of power. That radical self-acceptance is going to help you confront your fears around not appearing quote unquote perfect. The channeled message I got here was, I teach others how to love me by the way I love myself. Oh, that's deep, you all, because I wrote the channeled message without even like really connecting it to this reading. I teach others how to love me by the way I love myself. This is deep. Group number 2. This relationship, as I said in the beginning, the lovers could also be about you loving yourself. So if it isn't necessarily, excuse me, I'm kind of burping, so that's kind of telling me, confirming the truth here, that if it isn't about you meeting someone, it's about you connecting the dual parts of yourself and becoming whole and confident within yourself. But I actually feel like you're going to meet someone that's going to facilitate this wholeness. You're going to connect with the person that you've always wanted to be with, the kind of relationship that feels healthy, safe, and secure. Let's go to the cards. Let's go to the tarot cards. I'm very happy for you, group number 2. Whatever this is, it's a beautiful transformation in the month of July. And we all need that self-love, that self-acceptance, because we all deserve that. You know, it's something that's beautiful. When you see someone fully in their body, fully loving themselves, regardless of what other people would consider flaws, what they may have considered flaws before. You have the High Priestess in reverse. You have the Six of Swords. I already see something, but let's get one more card. You have the Ancestors in reverse, which is the Death card. The bottom of the deck is Seven of Cups in reverse. You know, group number 2, you've always been a very powerful person. You've had this really deep spiritual connection with your guides, with your ancestors. And I get some of you are powerful healers. And there's something about this, we're just going to label it a scar. You know what it is, if this is you. There's something about this scar that actually has a spiritual significance. And over the years, you've had to really learn how to trust your intuition, to trust your gifts. Because there was something inside of you that always felt like you didn't belong, that you were too different. That not only was it whatever scar you had, maybe even some of you have a spiritual gift that other people thought was a mental condition, but actually you have a spiritual gift. Like, say you were hearing voices, but you came to understand you were hearing the voice of spirit, not voices that meant that you were unwell. And so there was a journey that you had to take. There was something you had to do. You had to either physically leave behind a community, a group of people that you were part of, a family, or you had to leave behind the thought that you were less than. And there's something there. If that hasn't happened for you yet, group number 2, there's something there where this radical change is going to happen. But it's not so much that anything needs to change with you except your mind, except your mindset. Everything else is perfect. This is what I keep hearing and seeing from spirit. You are whole, perfect, and complete. you just need to understand that. You just need to see that. And if you are in a union where this is your partner, your future partner, you're going to help this person see that. They are whole, perfect, and complete. They just need to see it. They just need to believe it. Because at the bottom of that deck is like, you'll stop reaching for different scenarios. You'll stop trying to be everywhere all at once, and you're going to understand that, because you have the Five of Cups here, it's in reverse, you are going to step out of depression. You're going to step out of a place where you feel down, where you're unsure of yourself, and you're really going to come, look at that, Three of Cups. You're really going to find your soul tribe. You're not only going to find a perfect partner, you're going to find your soul tribe, a community that you actually belong to, who loves you as you are. This is beautiful, group number 2. And July brings this, it either starts this motion happening, you're going to meet this person, you're going to meet people you connect with, or the conditions that are going to arrive for you to accept yourself are really going to propel you towards this new union and new friends. So I'm very happy for you, group number 2. If you resonate with this reading, please comment below. Please like the reading. Help me grow this channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click that bell so you get notified when I upload new readings. Otherwise, I very much appreciate you all. Take care. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading for July. What is it that you need to know? What is it that you need to be aware of? You chose the Emperor, group number 3. Emperor energy is very strong. The Emperor is all 4 of the kings together. The Emperor has achieved what the 4 kings represent in the tarot. So the Emperor has achieved emotional intelligence with the cups, with the king as the King of Cups. The Emperor has achieved passion and warriorship as embodied by the King of Wands. The Emperor has also achieved financial independence and wealth through the representation of the King of Pentacles. And then also the Emperor has realized mental acuity, like mental stability, mental mastery, as represented by the King of Swords. So when you meet an Emperor, when you embody Emperor energy, you're someone who's very much a leader in this world. You have come into the type of leadership where people seek you out for your wisdom. And the Emperor here is divine masculine energy, regardless of your gender. This is a certain height in group number 3 that you may realize in July, that you are at that place, maybe in your career, maybe in just who you are in your community, where you've reached into some type of leadership position, or you're heading that way, or you have a goal to be that way. You're grounded. You understand natural law. You also are in the mastery of self here. Now, when the Emperor is not as positive, this could be someone who is really about control, who's about rigid control. This could even be someone who's very fixed in the way that they like to do things. This could also be someone that doesn't control their temper very well. But because the Emperor is upright here in July, these are things that you've learned how to master, group number 3. Or you may be meeting someone who embodies this energy, so you have to take it where it resonates. Either way, this person is someone who's open to other people's viewpoints, will hear them out, but ultimately will make a decision based on their own inner wisdom and conclusions that they've come to based on authentic inner information. That's what I'm hearing. So let's find out. more about this Emperor group number 3. Self-love. This reminds me of group number 2 already. So if you're drawn to group number 2, I would take a listen. But 7, again, in July is a 7th month, and self-love is here. What this is speaking about, group number 3, is this mastery. I keep hearing the word mastery that you come to, that is putting you in Emperor energy, that's making you I hear bona fide leader. Like, there's no question about your leadership in July. There's something that's going to happen mostly within yourself, that loving yourself, that really trusting yourself, trusting your decisions. Group number 3, it puts you directly in alignment with your purpose of being a leader of some sort. So we have the weeping wound here. And this is saying that you are not your wounds. I actually think, group number 3, that this is what you're healing from. This is where that self-love comes in, because there was a wound. You understood this. Maybe you've been working on it, group number 3, for quite some time, but there's something in July that kind of just puts everything that you've kind of, like, I'm seeing someone who's done healing here, healing there. Remember how I said that the Emperor is all 4 kings? There's a place in which you're gonna kind of put together all this healing that you've been doing. You healed your financial life, you healed your emotional life, you healed your mental life, you healed your physical life. There's a way in which July brings it all together, and you become this whole person that's no longer wounded, that's no longer leaning into their wounds as something that they're walking around with, that everybody has to walk on eggshells with. You have come to a place of wholeness in the month of July, group number 3, that makes you this Emperor that is a person that operates from their own divine inner authority. That is what I'm hearing, group number 3, that you trust your inner authority, and it is not from a wounded place. Let's see what energies you're going to be embodying in the month of July. We have the Martyr, we have the Judge, and we have the Destroyer. Very interesting, group number 3. I think what happens for you in the month of July, group number 3, is that you give up toxic ideas around being a martyr, and you accept that there's a way, and instead of focusing on your wounds, instead of focusing on everything that was bad that happened to you, or maybe you had to deal with some enemies in the past, you are going to become a person who actually ends up being of service to others. Like, you're going to find your strength in focusing and doing things that help others. Instead of really focusing on your wounds, you turn that same energy into being useful in your community, offering your leadership in your community. There's a way in which some of you may even start to volunteer, I'm hearing, or you may shift something in your career where you take maybe even a pay cut to do something that's for the community. You become a true martyr here, in the sense of learning how to transcend your service to others instead of yourself, to a cause. And you have Judge here, which is interesting because I think you're going to balance the scales. There's something about maybe an injustice that even happened to you that left you wounded. That could be for some of you. There was an injustice that happened that left you wounded. And for a while, you might have just been focusing on that thing that happened to you, something that was unfair. But now in your healing process, you've come to a place where you actually just realize that there's that spirit balances things out. You don't always have to be the one to address an injustice. I think you're starting to realize that your ancestors, your spirit team, they have your back. They will make sure that the scales of justice prevail. And in that, you become more balanced within yourself. You're not looking for revenge or retribution. You are out here focusing your energies and turning them towards your community or some cause. And this destroyer, it's almost as if with this wound, you had to express your feelings. I think you found a way to express your anger, your frustration, because it was something that you needed to release. And whether that was through martial arts, I'm seeing someone doing martial arts for some reason, or for someone doing something that pushes their body to the limit to help them express some of this anger, some of this frustration that came from some injustice. And it was when you found that way of expressing some of this like toxicity that were inside of you, some of the toxic wounding that was inside of you, you began to heal, group number 3. This is powerful. The work that you were doing, it's coming to a culmination in July. You are understanding that path, that part of your path, group number 3. Let's go to the channeled message. Oh, wow. I wrote down these channeled messages just by looking at the initial cards. So I didn't see all the other oracle cards when I heard this channeled message. It says here, group number 3, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So group number 3, whatever the injustice was, whatever you felt like you lost, Spirit is telling you that even if someone thinks they won against you, or that somehow they cheated you or whatever, these people are gonna find, you're gonna find actually, group number 3, that no weapon that was formed against you will ever prosper. You will see, Spirit's pointing me to this 25. You will either see on the 25th of some month, or in 7 weeks, 7 months. I mean, heaven forbid it takes this long, but you know, Spirit is saying it might even be 7 years, that you will see that whatever weapon that was tried to be used against you, it didn't work for whoever it was. And Spirit is even saying here, I'm hearing Spirit say, don't focus on whether or not someone gets their karma. Spirit is saying it's already taken care of. You may even find, because the month of 7 is July, you may even find in July the proof that this weapon never prospered against you. And you may get a feeling of satisfaction knowing that your spirit team, your ancestors, Spirit itself took care of that issue. Let's go to the tarot cards. This is powerful, group number 3. Look at that. 8 of Wands. Queen of Swords. And the Moon. Very interesting. Spirit is saying here, group number 3, keep doing your work. Keep focusing on you. Keep taking action to be the leader that you want to be, the leader that you came to this earth to be. Stay logical, stay decisive, strategic. That is a lot of what the Emperor does. I want to bring the Emperor out here. The Emperor is strategic. The Emperor doesn't fly off at the handle. The Emperor sits down and says, what are my next best moves? What will help me guide the people that are looking towards me for leadership? And Spirit is also saying here, because that Moon is here, but this Moon card is very interesting. There's something about mentorship that I'm seeing here. There's something in a way that you're going to guide those who depend on you even if you don't always know how it's going to turn out, stay clear about who you are and how you're showing up. That is what Spirit is saying. Stay clear about who you are. Kind of put the emotions where they need to be and show up steady, consistent, and confident. You've got at the bottom of the deck, yeah, there's a lot of mentorship that I'm seeing here. You're going to guide other people, and I think you're going to guide people from your learned experiences. You are going to guide people from the lessons you have learned, group number 3. And in that way, it puts you in this Queen of Cups kind of energy, regardless of gender. It's almost as if you are seen as someone who, regardless of what has happened, you're able to be generous with others. You're able to extend yourself to others. You see how there's this chart even behind this Queen of Cups? It's almost as if you're a teacher of some sort. You're going to teach people from the lessons you had to learn from this. I'm hearing betrayal, some of you. And in many ways, this is going to put you in a Ace of Pentacles position. It's going to be a new way of living. Maybe, and I'm seeing this is very specific, but I have to mention it, maybe someone lost their job due to some injustice, and you had to change your career around. You had to figure out something new to do. And this new thing that you're doing, group number 3, it's going to put you in a better place financially. You're going to be very successful because, one, I think you're coming from your heart in whatever you do next. You're going to lead through your heart, and that always means success. That spells success to me. When you're doing things you're passionate about, when your things align with giving greatness back to your community. So that is what I have for you, group number 3. July is a powerful month, and take this where it resonates in terms of the timeline. Some of you will realize this in July. Some of you are moving towards conditions that will make this a possibility in July. So take it where it resonates. If you like this reading and you resonate with it, please comment below. Please like the video if you like the reading, and also subscribe to this channel. Help me grow the channel by subscribing and clicking that bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. Other than that, new readings. Take care. I really appreciate you all.